God, my creator did not put fear here. You don't need fear, and you should not even fear your creator or God, but religion teaches you that you should. So today's video is going to be about my spiritual journey and my entire experience, and I'm super excited about making this video because, well, y'all gonna see while y'all watch this, okay? So I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to go about starting this video, so I did ask some of my Facebook friends to leave questions that would help me with this video. So I'm going to be answering those questions. How did I start my spiritual journey? Well, it all started honestly when I found out about the law of attraction. So if you guys aren't familiar with that or how I used it, I will leave a link somewhere up here at the top of the video so you can go back and watch my entire process, because I did document it. But I used the law of attraction to attract $100,000 into my life, and I have never been so mind blown or just in so disbelief in my entire life. I was just like, if this is just one universal law and it works, then how many other laws are out there? How many other laws are out there that can aid me and that can help me in this lifetime so that I can live the life that I truly desire and want to live? So I went from learning about the law of attraction and manifesting to studying other laws. And that led me to read multiple books. Well, actually, I'm not the type of person to sit down and read anything. I was listening to audiobooks, but I would be outside walking, because walking always gives me so much peace. Not only is it a form of exercise, but it's a way of me clearing my mind, getting fresh air, you know, exhaling out negativity, breathing in just positive energy. So walking always puts me in a really good mood. So what I would do, I would walk listening to audiobooks. All audiobooks are on YouTube for free. So I would just spend my mornings, evenings, afternoons, whatever free time I would get to walk, I would listen to different audiobooks, and those audiobooks would teach me about different spiritual laws or different universal laws that would help me on my journey. And I would say that that was basically the start of my spiritual journey. Although I had the audiobooks, I always go out and purchase books. You know, I always go out and purchase books. So this was right here. This was the main book that helped me. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. Also, there were books by Florence Scovel-Shinn, I think that's her name, and it was The Game of Life and How to Play It, and The Secret Door of Success. So those 3 books, this one and the other 2 books, they're speaking on the laws of the universe, but they give biblical references. So at the time, you know, at the very beginning of my journey, I still identify as a Christian. So it was those books that made me feel really comfortable about manifesting and just wanting abundance and wanting to explore the universal laws, because they were backing up everything that was in the Bible with a universal law. That is basically how I started my spiritual journey. I just wanted to find more ways in which I could better my life and myself by using the resources and the tools and just the things that God has put in place for me to use while I am having this earthly experience. So as I'm having this earthly experience, that's just how I view it, because if the law of attraction helped me in such a way, just think about if I started using all of the other universal laws. And that is basically how I got into it. Also on my walks, I would listen to audiobooks on for a portion of my walk, but then the other portion I would just walk in silence And I would just be thinking about what I want, but also talking to God at the same time. This gave me the ability to really just have the free time just outside of my house, off of my phone, no distractions, and I can just talk to God. Like, God, you know, is this okay? Is it okay for me to start questioning everything, especially when it comes to religion? Is it okay for me to want this stuff? Like, if it's not okay, give me a sign and make it clear, because I'm one of your slow kids. Well, not for real. I gotta stop saying that. I gotta stop calling myself slow. But if it's not right, tell me. And y'all, something just jumped out the water. I don't know if it was a dolphin or what. But anyways, but tell me if it's something that I'm doing wrong. Tell me and guide me. Continue to put audiobooks in my way that's going to help me on this journey, that is going to help me spiritually, bring me closer to you, and that's going to help me have whatever it is that I need in this lifetime to live out my purpose and to live out my passion. And that kind of gets into the question that I was being asked from my Facebook friends is, you know, like, how did I know that a spiritual journey was right and it's not quote unquote witchcraft, you know? And that is how I knew it was right. Having open communication with my creator, with God, with the person who created all of this, with the person who put all of the universal laws into place. My relationship with God, with my creator, me asking those questions, those intimate moments and times that I've had with my creator, is how I received confirmation that what I was doing was right. And what I've come to realize is that religion is like a middleman in between that communication. So it's you and God, and then right there smack in the middle is religion. And religion is telling you like what is right and what is wrong. And don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing against religion. I grew up with a religion. My family members practice religion, and I have nothing against them. I do feel like religion has its place in society. Keeps people, most religion is focused on positivity and really wanting to better people in a positive way. And another thing I've uncovered is that all religions use some form of the universal laws. All religions point back to universal laws and rules that were put in place by God. So for me, like, I'm choosing not to be religious because I don't feel I need a middleman. I can go directly to the source. God instilled great power inside of me, and I have the ability to achieve anything that I want and anything that I desire. I don't need to go through a middleman to understand that. I don't need someone to tell me what is right and what is wrong when there's no such thing as right or wrong. And that's another thing I had to learn, or something that I've learned on my spiritual journey. There is no such thing as right or wrong or good and bad. Yes, in society, we've had to create vocabulary to describe and to explain good and bad, you know, right or wrong, up and down, left and right, yin and yang. But life needs balance. It needs both good and bad. The bad helps you see the good even more, and the good helps you really recognize and understand bad. It's all needed. So I don't need a religion telling me that I am going to go to hell for the rest of my life and live an eternity in hell, all because I might have done a couple things that are bad. All because I might have done things that are not deemed as a good thing You know, y'all get what I'm saying. I can only speak on my personal journey. I was one of those kids. I used to go to church like every Sunday. I used to go to church every Sunday. I used to go to church with my grandma a lot. And for me, my experience, every time I went to church, I cried. Every time I went to church, I cried. And it was just like, it could be 5 minutes into whatever it is they speaking on, and I'm already in tears, just like overwhelmed in tears, and then just feeling guilty, like just feeling like I'm a sinner. And I'm a child, a good child, don't do nothing bad, but it's just like going to church just always made me feel like I'm a sinner, and life got to be boring, and everything got to be perfect and cookie cutter, or I'm going to hell. And it was just so negative for me. And one day I just remember, like, I was just tired of waking up early going to church, and I really ain't want to be there to begin with. So one day I was like, Mom, do I really have to go to church? Like, Mom, I don't call my mom Mama, I call her Mom. Mom, do I really have to go to church? And she was like, no, you don't have to go. And I stopped going. And I was still like in elementary school when this happened. I stopped going to church, and every year, like, I felt so guilty about not going to church, because I felt like going to church made you a good Christian. You don't have to go to church to be a good Christian. You don't have to go to church to have a great and beautiful relationship with God. You don't, not at all. But I would just feel so guilty. I would feel like all negative things that were happening to me in my life was because I wasn't going to church, or it was because I wasn't reading my Bible as much as I should. And so every year, like after that, especially into my adult life when I was living on my own, I was like, damn, I haven't been going to church. Life hasn't been going how it's supposed to go. So let me start going to church. Let me start tithing, and life is gonna magically get better for me. And no. See, I didn't need church. I needed to shift my mindset and shift how I view life, and understand or find my purpose in life, and find the meaning of life. I didn't need church. I needed to just adjust my mindset. And like I said, the whole mindset and being open and learning about universal laws is what has helped me tremendously live the life of my dreams, or achieve certain dreams and desires that I've had. So, and that's what kind of started the whole spiritual journey for me. The next question I received is, what's the difference between going from, you know, being a religion to having a whole spiritual journey, spirituality, and how do I feel I am different? And before I really like answer that question, I do feel like I should define spirituality and what it means to me. So for me, a spiritual journey or spirituality is just accepting and being more aware of the fact that you are a spiritual being. You are a spirit. There's a soul that lives inside of you, and then there's a whole spiritual world, a whole realm of things that we cannot see. Because in everyday society, everything, we live like in the 3D world. 3D means that we can see, we can physically see stuff, touch it, feel it, smell it. We live in a world that is all about our 5 senses, right? So I gotta see it to believe it, or it is how it is. That's the way it is. Everything is like how we see it. And the negative part about that is, if we only notice a physical existence and not a spiritual existence, we're not going to feel complete, and we're not going to be able to attract everything that we want in life, because we're only acknowledging one part of our existence, which is our physical existence, right? I am a body. This is a human. This is flesh, bones, muscle, fat, all of that, right? If I'm only acknowledging the outer me and I'm not acknowledging the inner me, the spiritual part of me, I am missing out on a half of my life that could be very helpful to me, and I need to become aware of that. So that is what the spiritual journey has been for me, being more aware of the fact that it's a spiritual realm. There are things that we cannot see, such as all of the laws of the universe working. I cannot see vibrations. I cannot see I'm attracting things like a magnet. I can't see that with my eyes. But if I'm in a positive mood, positive energy, and I have a light that is coming out of my body that is attracting things, I can't see it, but that don't mean it don't exist. So a spiritual journey is all about accepting that part of me, that I am spiritual first before I was ever, I was, it's so hard to put into words, y'all. But I feel like y'all get it. So when it comes to the main differences, the major differences in myself, it's just that I don't have any limitations on myself. I feel like religion put limitations on people. Religion somewhat promotes fear. My God, my creator did not put fear here. You don't need fear, and you should not even fear your creator or God. But religion teaches you that you should. And I feel like that's the negative side of religion. Fear is not a good energy. Fear is an energy that attracts negativity into your life. It attracts negative circumstances and situations, and just that is how you become depressed. Fear is what stops you from having your best life. And when I say your best life, I don't mean like partying, drinking, turning up. I mean like the life of your dreams, going on vacation, traveling, giving back to others, whatever you desire out of life. Fear gets in the way of that. So going on a spiritual journey, like, it just helped me so much mentally. My mindset is better. I am more positive. I'm more optimistic. I am working on getting rid of like the negative energy and the negative thoughts, and I am unlearning a lot of negative things that I've learned along the years, and it just made me a better person. I am happier. Now, I still got a lot of things to work on, because there's a lot of things that people do that piss me off. That piss me off. But my spiritual journey has taught me that the things that others do that I dislike, that's a mirror. That is a mirror for me to see that those negative things live inside of me as well. So your spiritual journey, it opens your mind, it expands your mind, and you just see life through a different lens. And when you start to view life through a different lens, you begin to be more understanding, more empathetic, more sympathetic, more loving, more caring, more supporting, more uplifting. Like, it makes you become a better person, not only for yourself but for society. And you definitely just start viewing things differently. It is helping me, because I want to become like more vegan, and vegan means you can't eat animals. But when you start realizing animals are living beings, and they weren't put here for us to eat, which a lot of people, religion confuses a lot of people, because depending on how you look at the book and read it, whatever religion you're in, it might tell you that God put certain animals here for us to eat. But you start really understanding that that's a violation. That's a violation to earth and to society. That, like, it's a violation, and you don't want to live in violation. You just can't. So it just makes you appreciate stuff more, appreciate life more. And that has been a major difference of my spiritual journey. Did others notice, and how did they react? I'm not sure if other people notice. When it comes to a spiritual journey is so personal. It's about you, and you're focusing on yourself, making yourself a better person. You don't really have time to be focusing on whether other people are noticing it or not. You're not really doing a spiritual journey for others, you're doing it for yourself. So I don't really know if other people have noticed it or not. I would say maybe people on social media, because you might, if you follow me on social media, you'll see me start posting about different things like overcoming your mindset shifting, abundance, universal laws, giving out more like health related stuff so people are able to heal themselves through nature. And like, I just have such a huge respect for nature. I know this is kind of like not answering the question, but my spiritual journey allowed me to appreciate nature so much more. We can heal our entire self with nature. Breathing in good air, the sunlight, eating the food that grows from the soil can heal you 100% completely, whether it's from depression, whether it's from cancer, anything like that. Like, nature is the recipe. I've just grown to appreciate everything. But back on topic, I mean, I feel like people can notice, but I haven't really sat down to think about like, oh wow, have people noticed I'm on a spiritual journey? It's not something that I really think about. I'm just thinking about bettering myself and sharing the information that I am finding out with others, because if I feel so good and so full, like my cup is overflowing, if having a spiritual journey gives me this feeling, then I want to share bits and pieces with it with the world, which is also why I'm creating this video, because it could greatly help the next person. How do you handle the loneliness, and is it scary? There are definitely different sides of a spiritual journey. It's a lot of self-healing and having to heal yourself, which means that you are going to have to work through all trauma, childhood trauma, just any type of trauma. You're gonna have to work through that to really heal yourself, your inner self. You're gonna have to learn how to believe in yourself, how to stand up for yourself, how to fight those negative thoughts that are just in the back of your mind repeating over and over again. You want to have a better life for yourself, but that voice in your head is telling you, girl, who are you kidding? Like, girl, be realistic, right? You got to fight that inner voice. And it's like a constant, there are portions where it's a constant battle. And while you're going through this journey, you are going to kind of be isolated, because you got to work through so much stuff. And it's just like, you might not want to be around people while you're hashing up childhood trauma. You might not want to be around people when you realize everybody is a mirror of yourself. And as you're working through the negative things you don't like about yourself, and everybody around you is going to show you those negative things because it's a mirror, you're going to want to be by yourself. So the loneliness that comes from a spiritual journey, I see it as being for good. It's a good thing. I view it as a positive thing. So I don't really see it as being negative. I see it as being a positive thing, right? And is it scary? It's not scary. I think a lot of people think it's scary because a lot of people might associate a spiritual journey with talking to spirits and using tarot. Is it called tarot cards? Tarot, I want to say tarot, but I feel like it's tarot cards, and calling on the ancestors and stuff, which I am not opposed to. When you're on your spiritual journey, you decide what your spiritual journey is going to look like. So if you don't feel comfortable speaking to spirits and calling on ancestors and making a altar, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do it. You don't have to do that stuff. For me, I'm still learning a lot about spirituality. Recently, I've been learning about African spirituality. I'm not sure. I will say that I do talk to spiritual guides. I am aware of spiritual guides and angel numbers, because I understand there's no such thing as a coincidence. And when I talk to God, I always tell God to give me a sign. I would just always start seeing angel numbers. So what an angel number is, it's a repeating number that you see all of the time. It doesn't have to be 1111, 2222, 3333, 4444. It doesn't have to be those numbers. It could be any random number that you see all of the time. So for me, it was 1234. 1234. 1324. 333. 222, 555, 1010, but mainly 1234. And I realized that those are messages being sent from God and from my spiritual guides, because I do believe in a spiritual guide. I feel like when people cross over, they take on different roles. Some people, when they cross over, they might cross over and come right back to earth. Grandma died last week, and then somebody in the family had a baby this week. That might be grandma coming right back to earth. So I do feel like when people transition, they go on different missions. And some of them, they might have the mission of being a spiritual guide. They're here to guide you while you're on earth, to help you. Just like how the universal laws are in place to guide you along this journey. You have so much help on the spiritual side of things. So it kind of goes back to when I was saying, like, we live in a physical world and most of us only acknowledge physical existences, not realizing it's a whole spiritual realm all around us. It could be all types of, I don't want to say ghosts, it could be all types of spirits walking around here. I don't see them, but that don't mean they're not there, right? It doesn't mean that we don't have angels. Some people like to call them angels instead of spiritual guides. It don't mean that we don't have something on the other side that's not helping us in this lifetime. Is that scary to me as spiritual guide? No. The fact that my spiritual guide is giving me messages and every message has helped me tremendously. No, that doesn't scare me. Seeing my spiritual guide, seeing them walk across the room, I don't want to see that. Yes, that will scare me. But what I have learned is they know if it's going to scare you or not. They would never scare you. God would never show you something you're not ready for or something that makes you uncomfortable. So you don't even have to worry about that. They're here to help you, not to scare you. Not to scare you. So no, it's not scary. Only do what's comfortable to you. This next question is a really good question. And it says, like, do you go back to your old ways after converting? So it is called a journey for a reason. It isn't like, oh, I was Christian and now I've converted into another religion and you completely got to cut off one or the other. This isn't even religion. I'm not religious. It's a spiritual journey, because there's so much there is to learn. So much there is to learn. It takes multiple lifetimes to learn things, especially when it comes to the spiritual realm. It takes multiple lifetimes, and I'm gonna touch on the multiple lifetimes and everything after this question. But it's a journey, and a journey means that it's not going to be picture perfect. There are going to be obstacles. There are going to be things that block you. You are going to revert back to your old ways. That's just all a part of a journey. A journey is a process. You got to give yourself grace on this journey. It's not cookie cutter. It's not rainbows and butterflies. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. So you're gonna make mistakes. You're going to revert back. Like, a big thing that I've just really been trying to work on lately is just the mirrors. The mirrors. y'all keep hearing me mentioning and talking about mirrors, but like I said, people mirror you. That's just at the point of my spiritual journey that I've reached, that everything is a freaking mirror. And like I said, people irritate my soul. There are some times where I'm just like, F people. Earth is ghetto. People irritate my soul. I'm tired of people. And that's not me making positive progress on my spiritual journey. That's not me making no progress at all. So that's kind of like me reverting back. But I give myself grace. You know, if I want to be mad at people and throw rants on Facebook and stuff for like a good week, I'm gonna do it. Okay? As long as I come back that following week just being positive and working through it and trying my best to be the best me and working on the things that I feel like that I see that are negative in other people, I'm working on that for me, then I'm good. I'm good. I don't know if I should make a separate video on this because it's so much, but one of the major differences about my belief system now is when I practice religion, I believe that after we die or transition over, like you either go into heaven or hell and you just stay there for eternity, right? But now that I'm on my spiritual journey, I definitely have a different belief. First of all, I understand that energy never dies. So the energy, our soul, our spirit never dies. And my belief now is that we live for multiple lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes. And our soul has a mission. And what truly helps me to believe this is because there was a car accident, and it was a minor car accident. Very minor, but it really made me have this unique experience that I haven't really been able to put into words or describe to others. And what happened in that car accident, it was like I was riding down the street and this lady like pulled in front of me and I hit her, right? Riding down the street, she just pulled out of nowhere really fast and I hit her. It was minor. No one got hurt. That's why I said it was minor, because no one got hurt. But as that was happening, as I was coming down the road, everything slowed down in slow motion like this. And in that period of slow motion, my entire life flashed before my eyes. It was like I was in this room. It was like a dark room, and it was like TVs everywhere, and it was like a council. And I was reviewing my life, my entire life, from when I was born all the way up. I don't even know where it stopped, because even though it was slow motion, the car accident happened fast. But it was just like it slowed down, and my entire life flashed like clips, like pictures of like key moments of my entire life flashed. And I don't even know if it stopped at like my current moment or if it kept going until I died. I don't remember that part. And it was just an experience I can never explain. I was watching some spiritual people on here on YouTube. It's this guy, his name's like Spiritual Ty or something like that. And he was talking about Dolores Cannon. And I started looking at Dolores Cannon, her YouTube channel, and that was the first time somebody spoke on a council reviewing your life. And I started looking at her YouTube channel and I realized, wow, the truth has been revealed to me. The truth has been revealed to me. We live multiple lives. That experience, nobody can tell me that wasn't true, because I experienced that for myself. I experienced that for myself. So in my heart and my soul, I know what the truth is. And religion is not it. Religion has its purpose, but my situation, that is how I know. That was my confirmation to know that this is real. So yes, we live multiple lifetimes. Yes, there is a council we go to after we die to review our life. And Dolores Cannon, she really speaks more on it in all of her books, her YouTube channel, all of that. And it's just been such a help for me on my spiritual journey. This is one of the books I have from Dolores Cannon right now. It's The 3 Ways of Volunteers in the New Earth. This is a really good book. I'm gonna go back and get her other books too, because this isn't the first set of books that she wrote. This isn't the first book that she wrote. There are other books that are kind of like prerequisite before you get to this point. So I'm gonna go back and get her other books. But it has truly helped me on my spiritual journey, just how I view life, how it's different, and ultimately it has just completely changed my entire life for the better. And that is why I wanted to make this YouTube video, because I want to be able to help others. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to convert anybody from what they believe in. You have the right to believe in what you want to believe in. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do want to just share more about my journey and what I'm learning, because the things I am learning, like the universal laws, and my perspective on it, I know will help thousands upon thousands of people on their journey in life. And I just feel like that information needs to be shared. And again, like I said, all religions use some sort of the universal laws in one way or the other. So yeah, I just wanted to share that journey. If y'all want me to speak on anything specific, leave it down in the comment section, and I will make more videos to go more into detail or depth on certain areas that you guys will want to hear more about, or for me to explain more on. But yes, thanks so much for watching, and until next time.